Newsflash! It's a POG milk cap invasion. Milk cap sightings are pouring in by the thousand. The cause is anyone's guess.
Before fidget spinners and TikTok dances, there was a game that swept playgrounds and turned milk caps into a phenomenon. POGs. But how did such a simple game involving bottle caps become a global craze? And why did it vanish faster than your allowance at the comic book shop? So, dust off your old milk caps, gather up all your metal slammers, you big bully, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, as this week we dive into the rise and fall of POGs. Now, to understand POGs, we have to go way back, and I mean way back, to Japan in the 1600s. The gameplay of POGs is based on the game called Menko, where players used clay, ceramic, or wood pieces to flip their opponents. Whoever was able to flip the piece lying on the surface with the second piece by throwing it down onto it wins. The original pieces were most often adorned with traditional Japanese artwork, making the pieces collectible. Then, with the wave of Japanese immigration to Hawaii in the early 20th century, Menko came along for the ride like a pocket full of glitter. No one really asked for it, but now it's everywhere, and you just can't get rid of its sparkly awesomeness. Fast forward to 1991, when Blossom Galbiso, a teacher in Hawaii, decided to bring back this game to her students. But instead of fancy ceramic pizzas, kids used, get this, milk bottle caps.
He needs some milk!
The game was reborn, and a whole generation of kids were flipping bottle caps instead of paying attention in class. Back in my day, flipping out in class had a whole different meaning. The bottle caps used were from a local dairy manufacturing company by the name of Heleakala Dairy. The craze became so prevalent on the island that the dairy company had to request additional caps to be made. Eventually, the same company started making a juice that had a thicker cap on its packaging, but similar to those being used already. The juice was made of passion fruit, orange, and guava, hence its name, POG. By 1993, POGs had traveled across the Pacific to the US mainland, and soon, every playground from California to New York was filled with the sound of cardboard slapping asphalt. It was an invasion from another land, and one that didn't involve pumping more funds into Lockheed Martin.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
But it wasn't just kids. POGs were everywhere. Comic shops, toy stores, even fast food restaurants got in on the action. You couldn't eat a Happy Meal without getting a couple of POGs thrown into the bag.
It's free real estate.
And as it is with the best crazes, POGs got more intense. You couldn't just flip caps with regular POGs anymore. Oh no, you needed a slammer. Kids started using heavier materials, plastic, metal, even rubber slammers. So nothing says friendship like denting your friend's favorite cap.
Finish him.
Then came the ultimate slammers. Holographic, sparkly, and oversized. Some were so thick that they looked like mini manhole covers. Kids would show up on the playground wielding these bad boys like they were Thor's hammer, ready to obliterate an entire pile of POGs in one hit. There was even the formation of an official league, the World POG Federation. They sold all sorts of different POGs, and even had their own mascot, POG Man. They would hold tournaments to see who would slam with the best of them and win the prize.
Slamming with the best of them, stack 'em up and testing them, flipping POGs like it's 95, I'm blessed with them. Slammer in my hand is going down so heavy, knocking stacks, slipping caps, damn my game steady.
just as quickly as Pogs stormed the playgrounds, they started disappearing. Why? Well, nothing stirs up trouble quite like a little friendly competition. Kids weren't just playing for fun anymore. They were playing for keeps. Losing your favorite Pog in a heated match? That's the kind of childhood trauma that sticks with you. Before long, schools across the globe were hitting the panic button. Pogs were banned from classrooms, hallways, and even lunchrooms. The game was distracting kids from their studies, and teachers weren't exactly thrilled with the idea of what they saw as elementary level gambling. I mean, sure, Timmy learned how to calculate odds and make high-stakes trades, but probably not the math his teacher had in mind.
You have a gambling problem.
That's true. Will you forgive me?
Once Pogs hit the mainstream, it didn't take long for businesses to cash in. Toy stores, comic book shops, and even fast food chains jumped on the Pog bandwagon, turning them into a marketing goldmine. Suddenly, your favorite TV shows, sports teams, and even breakfast cereals were all plastered on Pogs. Kids were collecting anything with a cool design. Who cared if you even liked the show? If it had a shiny holographic slammer, you had to have it. The natural progression into full-blown capitalism saw Pogs become more than just a game. They became a cultural statement. Fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King started offering exclusive Pogs in kids' meals, further fueling the collecting frenzy. If you weren't playing Pogs, you were talking about them, trading them, or begging your parents for one more Happy Meal to snag that rare limited edition.
No! I want it now!
As quickly as Pogs rose to dominance, they began to fade. By the mid-90s, new trends were rolling in, and kids' attention spans were shifting faster than a slammer in a Pog tournament. Tamagotchis, Furbys, and the rise of video games and MP3 players started stealing the spotlight. The once mighty milk cap empire began to crumble as kids moved on to the next shiny thing. By 1996, Pogs were no longer the king of the playground. The game that had once captured the hearts and lunch money of millions now found itself sitting in the clearance bin. Toy stores began phasing them out, and kids who had once traded and battled for keeps were now more interested in feeding their digital pets or listening to music on their shiny new MP3 players.
Rest in peace, Pogs. You had a good run, but the playground has moved on.
In 2020, just when we thought the Pog craze was a thing of the past, the World Pog Federation attempted a reboot. But this wasn't your childhood's version of Pogs. Nope, this time they went digital, diving headfirst into the world of NFTs and blockchain technology. That's right, Pogs had officially entered the Web3 era. Introducing PogChain, where your favorite cardboard caps can now be digital collectibles. Authenticated on the blockchain and traded using a custom cryptocurrency called PogCoin. Because who wouldn't want to trade milk caps with cryptocurrency? It's what 90s kids have always dreamed of.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Pog Digital partnered with Theta Labs to launch this new platform, promising to combine nostalgia with modern technology. Users could collect, trade, and even play Pog games online with their digital collections. The idea was to create digital scarcity, because nothing says bring back childhood memories like trying to explain NFTs to someone who just wanted to flip some caps. But not everyone was buying into the hype. The reboot was met with sharp criticism, with many seeing it as a cash grab that preyed on millennial nostalgia and addiction tendencies. Critics pointed out that the blurred lines between online gaming and gambling, raising concerns about how the once wholesome playground game had evolved into something much more predatory. It seemed like for every digital collector excited about the comeback, there were 10 others shaking their heads about the sight of their childhood being turned into NFTs.
You're faking a fraud.
So, there you have it. The wild ride of Pogs. From Japanese origins to playground dominance to a controversial NFT comeback. Whether you loved them or lost them, Pogs will always hold a special place in the hearts of 90s kids. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to find my old slammer on eBay, cause this time, no one's taking my favorite Pog! And don't forget to let us know in the comments what 80s, 90s, or early 2000s toys, tech, or trends you want to see us cover next. I'm Aaron. Thanks for watching Retro Vault. We'll see you next time. Bis es!